Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher, along with BNEWS Director Rich Hosford, BNEWS reporters Tad Stefanak, Chris Flaherty, and Robert Paris, Peter Brown with the weather, Maddie Shipka with community calendar, and Liz Gillespie with sports. Sorry, Liz. The general manager of the Burlington Buffalo Wild Wings died, and 10 others were hospitalized by a chemical incident with a potent cleaning product. Interim Fire Chief Mike Patterson held a press conference to update the public on the situation, and BNEWS Director Rich Hosford files this report.
I am outside the Buffalo Wild Wings in Burlington, where tonight a tragic accident has led to the death of an employee. The cleaning agent being used on the floors caused one employee to be rushed to the hospital, where he later died. Burlington Interim Fire Chief Mike Patterson recently spoke to reporters and had this to say.
Tonight at approximately 5:37, we were notified of a sick individual and a potential chemical release at Buffalo Wild Wings. Our crews responded, ambulance, engine, tower, command car responded to Buffalo Wild Wings. On arrival, they found a male patient being treated by Armstrong paramedics outside the building. Crews began to assist Armstrong paramedics in treating the victim. The victim was transported by Burlington ambulance to the Leahy Hospital, where unfortunately the patient passed away.
Patterson said authorities believe a worker used a cleaning agent called Super 8, a sodium hypochlorite, which is a high concentration of chlorine, on the floor, and for some as of yet unknown reason caused the hazardous material situation.
We believe that the victim, along with 10 other individuals, became sick once the product was released. 9 of the individuals self-transported themselves to Leahy Hospital, where they are currently being evaluated. Signs and symptoms of those patients were difficulty in breathing, runny and watery eyes, and shortness of breath.
Patterson said the State Hazardous Materials team was on scene and was performing an investigation of the restaurant and obtaining readings to determine if the threat remains.
The readings that they obtained at this time are safe throughout the restaurant. Police and fire will be conducting investigation, a full investigation into this matter. OSHA has been notified.
On Friday, the victim was identified by the fire department as Burlington Buffalo Wild Wings General Manager Ryan Baldera. Reports say Baldera, 32, leaves behind a wife and a newborn child. Patterson said that the condition of the other patients, 2 customers and 8 employees, is not to believe to be serious. Finally, the interim chief stressed that anyone who was at Burlington Buffalo Wild Wings during the incident and feels at all unwell should seek medical help immediately.
So I would advise anybody that was in the establishment, employees or customers, that if they have any medical condition, to immediately seek medical attention. No question.
From the Buffalo Wild Wings in Burlington, I'm BNEWS Director Rich Hosford.
Any cleaning agent should not be used in a confined area, and anything containing chlorine should not be mixed with ammonia at any point in time. Buffalo Wild Wings released the following statement after the incident. We are shocked and saddened to learn of this horrific accident at our franchised-owned sports bar, and are working closely with our franchisee and the authorities while they conduct an investigation. Finally, a fund has been set up for Ryan Baldera's family. If you'd like to make a donation, you can do so at Cambridge Savings Bank, care of the Ryan Baldera Memorial Fund. A sporting goods store will be closing multiple locations, including its spot in Burlington. Olympia Sports announced it will close 76 stores after it was purchased by the sports retailer Jack Rabbit. 22 of the closing stores are in Massachusetts, and the Olympia Sports location in the Burlington Mall is one of them. The Board of Selectmen, Olympia Sports was founded in Portland, Maine in 1975. Before the announced closings, it had 152 locations in New England, New York, and the Mid-Atlantic. The retailer carried a number of sports clothing brands, sports accessories, and workout gear. A store closing sale started on Friday, November 1st. Now, the Board of Selectmen held public hearings during the meeting Monday night to get updates on outstanding liquor licenses at the Burlington Mall. The hearings were held as part of the board's push to keep up with the status of licenses not in use to ensure the license holders are working to get them transferred so they can function as economic drivers for the town. The move came, in part, as response to an ongoing issue with the Beer Works license that was transferred in 2015 is still not in use and has not yet been transferred to another party with plans in the works to open up a restaurant. The first license in question at the mall was the one previously used by Uno's Chicago Grill. The restaurant closed in January of 2018, and in July of this year, the board was told they should expect a request to have it transferred soon. Attorney Mark Vaughn of Reamer & Bronstein, representing both the mall owner, Simon Properties, and the restaurant group behind the incoming Karma restaurant, told the board they would officially request the transfer in December. Vaughn said Karma, an upscale Asian fusion restaurant, will occupy the remainder of the former Uno's location, not currently being used by Frank Pepe's Pizzeria. The second license discussed in a public hearing was the one previously held by Besitos, also in the Burlington Mall. The restaurant closed in July of 2018, and in July of 2019, the board was told the license was currently under negotiation. Vaughn said a tenant has been identified for the location, and Simon Properties is currently finalizing a deal on the lease. This should happen within the next couple of weeks, and then the process of obtaining a special permit from the planning board would begin. The board voted to continue both public hearings until December 16th. The United Church of Christ Congregational on Lexington Street, I think the oldest building with the exception of the West School in town, or maybe the Historical Museum as well, is getting some needed work done to give it a revitalized look and to protect the historic building. BNEWS Director Rich Hosford went to check out the work and files this report.
Anyone who has walked or driven by the United Church of Christ Congregational on Lexington Street this week may have seen some renovation work underway. While it has undergone a number of renovations, the historic building that was originally built in 1732 was in need of some work, and church leaders wanted to get it completed before the start of winter.
The church is the sanctuary part of our building is extremely old and historical, and we want to preserve it for future generations. And the bell tower has been experiencing increasing disrepair for many, many years because of weather and wear and tear. And so we felt that it was really time to give it some love and attention and restore it back to its former glory.
So what is the nature of the work being done?
So we are removing all the rotten wood and replacing that. We're replacing all the shingling with vinyl so that it'll last a lot longer and be zero maintenance. And we've got a couple broken windows that we'll be replacing as well.
Reverend Wells says she is looking forward to the renovations being completed and the church looking revitalized.
We hope that it looks like it's in great condition. We hope that, the roof shingles look wonderful and that the white vinyl siding looks great, and that it really represents the life and vibrancy of our congregation and shows that, we are a healthy congregation with a wonderful building that we take pride in and want to maintain. And we also see it as being an asset to the community. We're right here in the center of town, on a busy intersection. Lots of people see our building. And so we want to keep it in really good condition, not only for our congregation, but for the wider community as well.
From the Burlington UCC, I'm BNews Director Rich Hosford.
After years of research and planning, the Burlington Sculpture Park Subcommittee presented its plan to the Board of Selectmen. The plan calls for sculptures on the corners of the town common and the field between the police station and the Grandview Farm. Committee Chair John Sachs brought the proposal to the board. Selectman Mike Runyon stated his support for bringing art to the Burlington landscape, but was wary of sculptures on the common. He said the town has worked hard to protect the common, and he was reluctant to approve something sight unseen that would be there for years. Runyon suggested using the area between the police station and the Grandview Farm as a test site before placing any sculptures on the common. Selectman Bob Hogan asked about insurance issues. Town Administrator Sagarino said the town would be able to provide coverage for injury or damage to the sculptures. There were also concerns raised about the type of sculptures that would be set up. Sachs assured the board all sculptures would be family friendly and that the selectmen could have a chance to sign off on them before installation. He also said he was open to a trial run on the field near Grandview and to keep off the common to begin with. The board unanimously voted for a continuance on the matter to give time to work out some of the details and concerns. The Burlington Players are back, and this time they will be performing the play 20th Century Blues by Susan Miller playwright. BNEWS reporter Robert Paris attended a rehearsal and files this preview.
They're back. The Burlington Players are gearing up for their fall production of 20th Century Blues, based on the play by Susan Miller.
20th Century Blues is about a group of women who've been friends for 40 years. And they have spent a lot of time together discussing what is important in life, finding support in each other, and enjoying each other's company. But the main reason is because one of the characters is a photographer, and she takes photos of them every year for 40 years. And it's meant originally just to be for them. But the conflict of the play comes from when the photographer decides that she would like to do something different.
I had a chance to speak with the leading ladies of the show.
My character is a journalist who is about to be bought out of her job. And she's one of the 4 women who have been meeting together for 40 years and having their pictures taken.
So my character's name is Gabby. She's a veterinarian. She's known these women for 40 years. And she's the kind of person who I would like to have as a friend. She's loyal, kind, just very warm and supportive of her friends.
I am portraying Danny, and she's the ringleader. And once a year, every year, she photographs her 3 friends that she's known for 40 years. They met in jail.
I play the mother of the leading lady. I am living in an assisted living place, and I occasionally have a little bit of dementia, which they accuse me of having all the time, so, but I don't really. So I have a couple of scenes with my daughter and a couple of scenes with everybody, and it's fun.
Lastly, the directors, cast members, and the rest of the crew are excited to show the audience members what this show has to offer.
I guess in some ways having 2 directors might, seem odd, but from day one, we were just very much on the same page with how we saw the show, how we wanted to cast it, what the important messages were from the show that we really wanted the audience to walk away with. And it's been an amazing process. I can't imagine doing this alone.
I know. Thank goodness we had each other.
Yeah.
From the Park Playhouse, I'm Robert Paris for BNEWS Weekly.
For tickets, you can go to burlingtonplayers.com. A Burlington man who at a young age survived a situation most people couldn't imagine enduring has gone to his final rest. Edward William Weiss passed away on the morning of Friday, November 1st at the age of 91. He was the beloved husband of 52 years to Ann Connerton Weiss. Ed was born in Meriden, Connecticut as one of 3 children born to the late Theobald and Martha Weiss. Ed and his family lived in Michigan until 1938, when an attempt to help a family member would upturn their lives. According to his obituary from Sullivan Funeral Home, at the young age of 11, Ed and his family moved to Germany to help a Jewish relative flee Germany during World War II. What was to be a short trip ended up being a very long and very painful journey for Ed and his family. Ed was taken by the Germans and forced to become a soldier in Hitler's army, where he was sent to fight with Germany against Russia on the Eastern Front. At the age of 15, he was captured by the Russian army. As a prisoner of war, he was forced to participate in the Death March. With strength and determination, Ed eventually escaped and walked over 600 miles to eventually reach the American lines. Most people would likely seek a life of ease and comfort after such an ordeal, but not Edward Weiss. Being the true patriot that he was, after returning to the United States, he joined the United States Army, his obituary reads. He served his country during the Korean War and was the recipient of the Good Conduct Medal. Ed chronicled his experiences in Germany in a book called Two Shades of War. On Monday, November 4th, Chops American Bar and Grill kicked off the second year of their Burlington Idol competition. During round one, 15 talented musicians from the area performed, but only 9 would be moving on. BNEWS entertainment reporter Chris Flaherty has this recap of the evening.
Burlington Idol is back. The first round of this year's competition was held at Chops American Bar and Grill on Monday, November 4th. After a successful inaugural run last year, the folks over at Chops saw it as a no-brainer to bring it back a second time.
People that just really demanded it for us to do it again, so we pulled it off a year or two. Here we are. The amount of people that came out pretty quickly tonight was amazing, and the support that they've given us tonight. And we had 58 people send their audition tapes, and we had to narrow it down to 15. So I think it was a pretty successful venture tonight. It was awesome. I mean, the vibe tonight was incredible. There was a lot of new voices, a lot of different genres, different age groups, different styles. It was a lot of fun. I mean, there was a couple people out there that you kind of were like, wow, these people are really talented.
By the end of the night, 9 of 15 contestants will be moving on to the next round. Some of them spoke on how they enjoyed the evening and how excited they were to be a part of such a talented group of musicians.
It was a blast. Everybody was so talented. I do not envy the judges for having to make the decision that they had to make, but it was great. And it's always great to hear feedback about your music and your performance. So I really enjoyed myself.
I thought tonight went really well. There was a lot of good competition, and I'm glad to have made it to the next round. So we'll see what next week brings us.
It's really awesome to share the stage with super talented musicians like myself, and I just think it's really awesome to just hear everyone perform and have a good time.
It was awesome to see everybody, and I'm excited for next week. I'm just looking forward to hearing everybody else and just to have a new song prepared.
Round 1 has set the bar for another sensational year for Burlington Idol.
I just hope that it stays as good as vibe as it did tonight. A lot of good camaraderie. Everyone comes in here with a great attitude, a positive attitude, a willingness to put themselves out there, and that's something that makes kind of the night successful, I think.
Win or lose, artists can walk away with a wealth of experience and a sense of camaraderie from the competition.
Well, music's kind of a fickle beast, if you will, and there's a lot of people trying to find their way in it, and not every event is for every musician. And singers it can be particularly challenging for, because to really get out there and sing and find your way, you need to find a band. You need to, if you want to write a song, you might have to have someone help you with a composition. It can be a challenge. But an event like this gives an outlet for singers, and we find a lot of up-and-comers coming through here that have a lot of talent that are looking to network. And I think that's kind of one of the big things that we enjoy doing here, is helping to build the network, not only for musicians, but for us as well.
Stay tuned to BNews this month to find out who will be the next Burlington Idol. Until next time, this is Chris Flaherty with your BNews Entertainment Buzz.
The Burlington Police Department is set to undergo a voluntary assessment by a state agency. Chief Michael Kent said he is pleased to announce that a team of assessors from the Massachusetts Police Accreditation Commission is scheduled to arrive on Tuesday, January 14th, 2020, to begin the examination of various aspects of the Burlington Police Department's policies, procedures, operations, and facilities. Verification by the assessment team that the department meets the Commission's standards is a part of a voluntary process to maintain state accreditation, a self-initiated evaluation process by which police departments strive to meet and maintain standards that have been established for the profession by the profession. The Massachusetts Police Accreditation Program consists of 257 mandatory standards as well as 125 optional standards. In order to achieve accreditation status, the department must meet all applicable mandatory standards as well as 60% of the optional standards. Achieving accreditation is a highly prized recognition of law enforcement professional excellence. The fall season, no, it's not fall. It feels like winter today. There's definitely a crispness in the air today, and to see what's in store for the weekend ahead, we go to BNews weatherman Peter Brown for this week's forecast. We'll also check out the community calendar with Maddie Shipka to see what's happening in Burlington.
Well, hello everyone, and this is Peter Brown with Look at Your Weather for the next 7 days. Now, I know what the calendar says, and here on our almanac it says it's November 8th, but it is going to be feeling like January as we head through the next week. So if you do like warm weather, this is definitely not going to be the forecast for you the next 7 days. We're actually going to see a chance of actually quite a bit of on and off snow showers. I know that was a 4-letter word we didn't want to hear quite this early in the season, but it looks like it's going to be coming true. Now, starting our period on Friday, look at this. We're expecting to see highs only in the upper 30s in the Burlington area, so it is going to feel like the dead of winter, never mind the middle of fall. And look at these low temperatures. We're going to get pretty darn close to record low temperatures. Getting up on Saturday morning, I wouldn't be surprised if in the area we see some upper teens to around 20 as you step out on Saturday morning. So a real winter feel. You're going to have to get the heavy winter coats out. We are going to be, you're looking at record highs. Forget about looking at those. We are going to be nowhere near those types of temperatures, at least for the next 7 to 10 days. And as we round out our period, getting into the middle of November, our average highs are supposed to be in the low 50s, and we're going to see it be significantly colder than that as we head towards the end of the period. And of course, another reminder that we're heading on towards winter. The days keep getting shorter and shorter with that sun setting before 4:30 now. So as we go ahead, let's take a look at our chances for temperatures and precipitation coming up for the next 7 days in the Burlington area. Now this map, unfortunately here in the Climate Prediction Center, is forecasting a chance of us having above average precipitation for the next week or so. And combining that with the map that we're going to look at next, with the cold temperatures expected, looks like we're not going to be seeing anything too much in the form of liquid. Looks like any precipitation we're going to be seeing maybe in the frozen variety, and that meaning, yes, snow, folks. So as we go ahead and we look at our next graphic, we're going to detail the real expanse of this cold weather across the lower 48. Now, right up here in the Burlington area, we have very, very high probabilities of seeing below average temperatures for the entire week. That looks like how it's going to definitely be. If you want to go anywhere to see maybe above average temperatures and warmth, you're going to have to head way out to the West Coast, out to California. So as we go ahead, let's take a look at what we're going to be expecting for the next 7 days. And again, looking at this map, I know it doesn't look very pleasant at all. That's for certain. Looks like the best day out of the 7 days is going to be Sunday, with temperatures only in the upper 40s. Now, a couple of folks, a couple of our colleagues have said that maybe we'll be seeing temperatures up in the mid 50s. I'm not going to put any bets on that as of yet. Looks like it's going to be pretty cold as we get out of Saturday, with temperatures only in the upper 30s. And of course, look at the overnight lows each night this week. Way down in the 20s. The only night going Sunday into Monday where it might be a little bit warmer as we see a weak disturbance with some rain and snow heading on to our area. And yes, more snow, folks. So Monday and Tuesday going to be kind of messy out there. Cloudy, very chilly, with a little bit of rain and mixed snow. And of course, as we head out towards the end of the period, look at these temperatures. They just keep getting colder. In fact, by the time we get to Thursday, 35 might be a little bit optimistic. I wouldn't be shocked if we don't make it out of the 20s on Thursday. And look at this. Record low temperatures probably down in the lower teens. So everyone, bundle up out there, stay warm, and have a great week.
I'm Maddie Shipka, and this is your Community Calendar. It's a twister. On Tuesday, November 12th at 11 a.m., the Burlington Public Library will be having a presentation with Toto, a kitten that survived a real tornado. Everyone is welcome and the event is free. For more information, visit burlington.org. Santa Claus is coming to town. On Saturday, November 16th at 10 a.m., the Burlington Mall will be having a parade featuring Santa Claus. Everyone is welcome and the event is free. For more information about the event, visit www.simon.com or call 781-272-8668. Let's take a trip back to the 1980s. On Saturday, November 16th from 7 to 11 p.m., the Burlington Music Boosters will be having an event called 80s Dance Party at the Hilton Garden Inn. The cost is $25 per person. Tickets are at the door or on Venmo at Burlington Music-Boosters. I'm Addie Shipka, and this has been your Community Calendar.
The fall sports season is drawing to a close, and for all the latest Red Devils action, we go now to BNEWS sports reporter Liz Gillespie for this week's sports report.
Hey everyone, I'm Liz Gillespie for your weekly sports report. Burlington High fall sports headed to the playoffs this past week, and we have a lot to go over, so let's get to it. The girls' volleyball team took on the East Boston Jets on Halloween at the BHS gym during the first round of the MIAA North Division II volleyball tournament. Lady Devils finished the season with a record of 16-4 and were ranked number 6 in the playoff bracket. The Lady Devils did go home happy on All Hallows Eve as they shut out the Jets 3-0. On Monday, November 4th, Burlington headed to Danvers High to take on the undefeated Falcons in the quarterfinals of the playoffs. The Lady Devils suffered a 3-1 loss in the game, ending their season. Congratulations to the girls on a great 2019 season. For more about this article, go to the BNEWS Sports Hub section on bcattv.org. The girls' swim team had their final regular season meet on Friday, November 1st against the Billerica Indians at Shawshene Valley Technical High School. The Lady Devils lost the meet 90-78. However, there was some individual winners from the meet. Chloe Poles qualified for sectionals in her 50-yard freestyle, and Kelly Gonzalez got her personal record in her 50-yard backstroke with a time of just under 2 minutes. Congrats to them. The girls' season isn't over yet. They will be heading to the MIAA Fall North Sectionals on Sunday, November 10th at Boston University. They also will be heading to the state championship later in November. The Lady Devils cheering team defended their league title on Wednesday evening during the Middlesex Championship at Reading High School. The girls had a great competition, to say the least, because they're moving on to cheer regionals on Sunday, November 17th. The Burlington High School football team headed to the quarterfinals of the MIAA North Division IV football tournament on Friday, November 1st. The team faced off against the undefeated Melrose Red Raiders at Fred Green Memorial Field. For more about the game, we go to the highlights.
November 1st in the quarterfinals of the MIAA football tournament. Melrose finished the season at 7-0, while the Red Devils finished at 3-4. Here we go with the highlights. In the first quarter, Melrose quarterback Brendan Fennell took control on offense as he ran a 10-yard touchdown, 7-0 Melrose. Mr. Chris Cusalito had a busy day for his legs as he found the end zone 2 times. One in the first and another in the second. Other Melrose players who got a touchdown was running back Matt Hickey in the second. The Red Devils did get a chance to get on the board in the second as wide receiver Sean Pinkham ran for a 78-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Before halftime, Melrose got another 2 scores. 41-7 at the half. One more score was made in the second half by the Melrose Red Raiders, all from their second stringers. 48-7. On 4th down, the Melrose Red Raiders were going to give it back to Burlington, but there was a bad snap that happened, and they gave up a safety to the Red Devils. Your final score was 48-9 Melrose.
Burlington has been eliminated from the playoffs, but will be facing the North Reading Hornets on Friday night at Varsity Field. The game will be a non-playoff game. The boys and girls cross-country teams are heading to the D3 State Championship this Saturday in Wrentham. The girls finished the season 1-5, while the boys finished the season 5-1. 7 students will be running from each of the teams. You can read the full article at bcattv.org under the BNEWS Sports Hub section. Finally, 2 BHS alumni will be beginning the college basketball season. Mike DeMartinis, a sophomore at Massachusetts College of Liberal Arts, did great his freshman year. Martinez graduated from this class of 2017 at BHS. During high school, he scored 1,086 points for the BHS varsity basketball team. As for his college career, he averaged 8 points per game and appeared in all 26 contests. DeMartinis was named MASCAC Rookie of the Week after averaging a 17-point per game in the season opening tournament. Congrats to Mike and continued success. Mariano Rodriguez is a freshman at UMass Boston and will begin his college career next week. Rodriguez graduated this year from BHS and is looking forward to starting his career at a college level. Good luck to Mariano at UMass. And that's all for your weekly sports report. I'm Liz Gillespie, back to you guys in the studio.
Another week, another photo to highlight. This week's photo features a Cub Scout working to honor the men and women who have served our country overseas in the United States military. It was sent in by Kimberly Lynch and shows Cub Scout Pack 105 member Cody Lynch and his father, John, building rockets in honor of local veterans with the rest of the pack. The rockets are set to be launched and dedicated on Veterans Day. Some of the rockets are dedicated to PAC veteran family members. Cody's rocket will be launched in honor of his grandfather, William Messenger, and his father. The rockets are scheduled for launch at approximately 10:45 on Veterans Day at the field behind the Burlington Recreation Department. Thank you for the photo, Kim. We'd like to see your photos. They could be of something you see around town, the weather outside your own door, or even photos of your family members, friends, and pets. Whatever you think is interesting and would like to share. Email your photos to bcat@bcattv.org with the subject line Photo of the Week. Before we depart, this is just a reminder to go to bcattv.org and sign up for our daily email edited by our own news director, Rich Hosford. It contains all of Burlington's daily news from a variety of different sources: library, police, fire, recreation department, council on aging, news and crime, etc. So get yourself all the Burlington news on a daily basis in your email box. And that's it from the news desk here at BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher along with Rich Hosford, Tad Stefanak, Chris Flaherty, Robert Parrish, Maddie Shipka, Peter Brown, and Liz Gillespie. Thank you for joining us.